on technology, you're depending more on the internet. Okay, so why is this necessary? Why is virtual bookkeeping necessary? Why do we need it? That's what we'll also take a look at. Now, because of this pandemic, we've come to realize that we need to work remotely. Why? Because working remotely to an extent, it guarantees your safety to an extent. You are safe. There's no risk of you getting infected if you are working comfortably from the comfort of your own home. Okay, so the pandemic has made us realize that there's a need for us to work remotely. And then on the part of the small business owner, it actually helps them to cut down costs. We can't lie that the pandemic has not affected everyone. It has. It has affected the small business owners. Okay, so their own way of them trying to survive through this pandemic, they need to try and cut costs. And working remotely helps them save on electricity, save on Wi-Fi costs, even rent as well. And then from your own perspective as the virtual bookkeeper, it promotes your well-being. There's no long commute to work. If you're in Lagos, you understand what I'm talking about. Those long hours in traffic, going to work as well as coming back from work. There's no lunch rush. There's no long hours in the office away from your family. And then you are also more productive if you work remotely from home because you get a lot more done. You're not spending much time commuting from to and fro work. Okay, so this is why virtual bookkeeping is actually necessary for both small business owners and for also you. It's like a side income or a full-time income. Now, we know what virtual bookkeeping is. We know the need for virtual bookkeeping. So what are the necessary steps to take? That is one of the reasons why you all are here. How do you start your own virtual bookkeeping business? So the first thing you need to do is you need to be technically capable. Your clients are depending on you and on your expertise for you to provide exceptional bookkeeping services for them. You can't do that if you do not know what you're doing. You can't do that if you are not technically capable. And to do that, you need to study bookkeeping. Accounting coach, there's edX. Okay, so you can make use of these platforms and learn a thing or two on bookkeeping, then become certified in bookkeeping as well. You need to become certified. Being certified gives your clients this confidence that you know exactly what you're doing. It means you've gone through the necessary steps to becoming a professional bookkeeper and that you know virtually everything or that has to do with bookkeeping. So it's always good to become certified. And then you gain experience in bookkeeping. It's always advisable for you to study or for you to work under a bookkeeping firm or an accounting firm for at least a year. There's a difference between the theoretical aspect that you're taught on all these platforms or in school, and there's on the job training, which is different. Nothing beats on the job training, trust me. You need to practice what you've taught, you need to put it into practice, and then that's how well you will do. The next thing you need to do is you need to draw up a business plan. Failing to plan is planning to fail. You need to have a plan for your business. In what direction is your business going? If you do not do that, you're just going to be all over the place, and that won't help you. Okay, so to do that, you need to first start by explaining what value you are proposing to your clients. What makes you different from other bookkeeping services? What are you offering that sets you apart from other bookkeeping services? What do you plan on adding to their company as a bookkeeper? You need to clearly explain that so that you know where exactly you're going with your business. Then you need to list out your services and fixed prices. This is very important. You think of bookkeeping as it's just bookkeeping. No, bookkeeping is actually quite broad. There are several services under it that we'll take a look at. Okay, you need to fix in prices for it as well so that you don't get caught unaware. When you finally get that your clients, you need to know the right services to offer them as well as at what rates. Then you need to plan and structure your business. Every part of your business needs processes. You need to put processes in place for your business to work well, for your business to function well. Then you know your financing requirements. That is very important. You cannot start a business without investing capital into it. So what is your startup capital? How do you plan on bankrolling your business? Is it through personal savings? Is it through contributions from family and friends? Is it through loans from financial institutions? like microfinance banks. How do you plan on getting the initial capital you need to start your business? You need to, this all comes into play when you drop a business plan. Then you need to have a sales and marketing plan. After all is said and done, you've started your business. How do you get clients? Like I said, this is how to run a profitable virtual bookkeeping business. It won't be profitable if you do not have clients that pay you. Okay, it won't be profitable if you don't have clients that pay you. So you need to know how you market your business, how you let people know about it, what are the sales tactics you need to do to close more deals. All of this needs to be included in your business plan. It is very important, please. And then you know your risk and create contingency plans. I don't know if we are conversant with SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis simply means your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So you do that for your business. You need to know what opportunities are available for you, what threats come against your business. You need to also know all of that so you can create contingency plans for it. After this, you need to tackle the legal side of starting your business. So you're starting a business, right? This is a legal entity on its own. You want to be on the right side of the law. You do not want to be caught wanting by government. So you have to tackle this legal side. Now, how do you do that? How do you tackle this legal side? You start by what? Choosing a business name. What do you want your business to be known as? It's very important. What do you want your business to be addressed as? Then you register your business with CAC. This is very important also, okay? Every business in Nigeria needs to be registered under CAC. It's a must. And then you have to get a tax identification number. The tax identification number is what you use when you're making payment for VAT, payee, withholding tax, and even your company tax. Okay, so you need to have a tax identification number. It's very important. The government is constantly hammering down on businesses that do not pay tax. You do not want to be found wanting. You're just starting a business. You do not want to be found wanting and have to pay a default fee. No, you do not want that for your business. Then obtain any necessary license. What do I mean by this? So you're offering bookkeeping services. You can be a generalist and you offer a wide range of services to your clients, or you can operate in a specific industry, let's say hospitality, for example. So you're operating in the hospitality industry, and that means that you might need certain licenses for you to operate within that industry. Or maybe you want to operate within the construction industry. You might need to obtain a license that allows you to offer bookkeeping services just for that purpose. That's what I mean by obtaining any necessary license. Then you need to open a corporate bank account. Why is this important? This is important because you need to monitor how well your cash, your capital, or how well cash flows in and out of your business. Okay, you can use transactions in that. No, it's always good for you to be professional. Have your own corporate bank account, and then monitor how you spend cash, how you receive cash. And then also, to open your corporate bank account, you need your tax identification number. This is why I said getting a tax identification number is quite important. Then lastly, protect yourself with business insurance. Now, most businesses, or like I say, some businesses overlook this, but business insurance is actually important. Okay, business insurance is simply insurance for your business. It covers you from losses that you might incur during your day-to-day running of activities. Okay, so after tackling all of this legal side, the next thing to do is you need to build a virtual office. Okay, you build a virtual office because you are working remotely. You need to have a dedicated office space in your house or wherever you choose to work from, that you can easily go there and get work done. So ensure you get a table and a chair, have a clean rear view and side view support, and then soundproof your office to avoid noise interference. This is very important because when you're having meetings, you'll be having meetings constantly with clients, and you need to project a professional look. So it will not be nice for you to have distracting objects in your background. It will not also be nice to have noise interference during your meeting. It doesn't really speak well for you. So try to avoid that. Make sure you soundproof your office and get a nice table and chair that you can make use of. Then set up an online platform. This is very important. We're in like the digital age. This is 2020. Having a social media presence is not all about just for yourself. You need it for your business. Your business grows more when you have an online presence on social media. So create accounts on social media platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then try to constantly push your services on this platform. It's very important because you're offering a virtual service. And then with this pandemic, it's not every time you have access to events that you attend and then tell people about your service. Another way of you getting clients is online. Believe me, there are people that have launched successful businesses and are making millions and cashing out, and they do not even have a a physical office space. All their work is done on social media. Now, we've taken a look at all the necessary steps that you need to take, but it's only right for us to take a look at the required software and technology. Like I said before, this is virtual bookkeeping. It means you're relying more on the internet, you're relying more on current technology. So you need to know the right softwares and hardware that you need to use. So first of all, we need to look at the core accounting software. Now, in this day and age, you bookkeep using accounting softwares. For the sake of it, and I'm sure you guys already know, but you Excel is not a bookkeeping tool, please. For you to bookkeep, you need to use accounting software. Accounting software such as Sage, QuickBooks, Zoho, Zero, FreshBooks. Now, why are these accounting softwares much more better? Because they provide a ton of reports. You get, they provide a ton of reports, and that is what you need for you to provide exceptional bookkeeping services for your client. And another most important fact is that all your work, all your transactions are immortalized. Immortalized meaning they are forever stored in the cloud, because these are cloud-based systems. So they are forever stored in the cloud, meaning you have easy access to it at all times. Forget your Excel sheet. That sheet can be deleted, or it can, something can happen to it. Forget your books. The books can get stolen or can get torn. The best thing to use are accounting softwares. The next thing you need to do is that you need to have document management software. You can make use of Google Drive, you can make use of G Suite. You also need to look at project management software, okay, because you'll be handling working with different clients. And then if you are starting out, you might start out with maybe, apart from just yourself, you can start out with one or two other people. So you need to know how well they're managing their project. Softwares like time duty come into play. So what is time duty, might ask, if you're not conversant with it? Time duty is an online platform used for tracking time and tracking expenses. It's very good, it's very efficient, it's simple to use. Okay, it's not a software that you need to download. No, it's online. Just check out timeduty.com and then you have access to it, but you need to pay monthly subscription for it. And then there's Calendly. Calendly is used in scheduling appointments. Okay, you need to schedule appointments. You need to be professional about it. Not every time calling clients and saying, "Are you free? Are you?" That's not nice. This helps you to easily schedule appointments with your clients, and then you get notifications about it. So this is also very important. Then there's the advisor's dashboard of your accounting software. I don't know if you are conversant with, let me take Sage, for example. So Sage has this platform, or has this aspect of its software where you can chat with your clients, they can send you notes, and you can also create tasks for yourself. So you can see how this will help you in properly managing your projects that you have on ground. So some of these software, Sage, and I think Zero does that. Even QuickBooks does that. They have parts in their software that allows you to communicate with your client, that helps you to set tasks, that helps you to set notes as well. Now, basically, you need a hardware. You need reliable hardware. So in terms of that, you have the laptop, you have computer, you have a mobile phone for making calls. You need reliable internet. This is very important because basically all what you're doing would require internet connection. So I would advise you to have at least two internet sources. Why? Because you don't want to be found wanting. You don't, in case there's a downtime on one, you can easily switch to the other and then get straight to work. Then you need a hard drive. So you're dealing with clients, and a lot of the documents you'll be getting from them are in digital copies, soft copies. Okay, so you need to have them safely backed up. Apart from having it stored on your system or on your laptop, you need to also have it backed up in a hard drive, just in case of eventualities. It's just a sensible thing to do. Okay, so we've taken a look at all the required software and technology. We know the necessary steps to take. Now, I mentioned that we need to look at the bookkeeping services you can offer. So you know what you need to do to start up your business. You know the required software and technology that you need. Let's look at what services can you offer to clients. Bookkeeping is actually quite broad. Don't be deceived. So when planning a bookkeeping service, you need to list out what services you offer at what rate. It's always advisable for you to start small. So start it out small. Don't overplay your hands. That's just it. You can set up to be a generalist. You offer a wide range of services to different types of clients. Then you can also design your bookkeeping business to fit the specific needs of certain types of clients or a particular type of client. So if you specialize in a certain industry, like I said, let's take hospitality. You by time over time you become the go-to person for bookkeeping needs in that industry. So specializing sometimes helps you stand out from the crowd, okay, and it can be a good thing. However, any way you decide to go, either as a generalist or as a special or to specialize in the industry, here are a list of bookkeeping services that you can offer. You can do standard bookkeeping. You can offer standard bookkeeping. This basically involves you setting up the accounting software, posting transactions, and sometimes doing bank reconciliation. Okay. Then there's the monthly reporting. You can also offer monthly reporting services. There's the filing of taxes. So there are different types of taxes. There's VAT, there's payee, there's a withholding tax. A company or a business can hire you for you to help them in filing their taxes, help them in calculating how much VAT should they pay at the end of the month, how much payee should they remit, how much withholding tax should they remit. You can be brought in just for that purpose. Then there's also payroll management. That same company can say, so I have 23 or 25 employees. I would like you to help me manage my payroll, to help me manage my payroll. So I would like you to, apart from remitting payee, I would like you to calculate how much each person gets paid at the end of the month after deducting payee, as well as maybe salary advance that they've taken ahead of time, or maybe certain deductions. Then there's general consulting, just consulting on the business. How can we improve certain things in our business? You can be brought in by a company to do that. Okay, so we've looked at the services you can offer. Now we need to look at how can you get clients. A profitable business, this business can only be profitable if clients actually require your services and pay for it. So how do you get clients? Before you need to market your bookkeeping business. But before you start marketing it, you need to find out what is your ideal type of clients. Don't just say, that's the problem with most businesses. Any client now, a small business owner is my client. No, you need to be specific about it. It helps you know what type of client you need to go for, and then what services you need to provide for them. Okay, so would you like to work with sole proprietors or large companies? You're just starting out. It's you and maybe another of your friends that is starting your bookkeeping business. Do you think you have the capacity to handle bookkeeping for large companies? I don't think so. You don't want to overplay your hands. So it's best for you to start with sole proprietors, small business owners. Do you want to provide services for startup or for established businesses? Which one do you think you can go or work well with? Do you want to provide services for specific industries? Let's say retail, hospitality, which one? So you need to clearly define your ideal client so you know what services to offer. Now, it's time for you to market your business. There's online marketing and then there's the traditional marketing. Online marketing includes you running ads on social media, running Instagram ads, running Facebook ads. It's very important. You get to reach a wide range of people if you put in the right characteristics or criteria when doing such ads. Then you can make use of influencers. You know what influencers are? They are people that have a huge following on social media. and then they have a huge buying crowd. So let's take for instance Niger Brand Chick or Diary of a Niger Girl. So these are influencers that have a huge following, and then they also have a social media presence. There are people that small business owners or even large companies follow. So imagine you running an ad, using them to run an ad on their page. Okay, you can be rest assured that you will get clients coming to meet you, and it's up to you to finally close that sale. Then the next thing you can do is that you can collaborate with other professionals. Okay, so let's take for instance, you have a friend that is a lawyer, so you can, or has a law firm. You can reach out to him and say, let's run this, let's organize a webinar for small business owners that just want to start up. So we're offering this service where we'll take you through how to start a business. You handle the legal side, you tell them all the things they need to do, and then I'll handle the financial side. I'll tell them how they can um, get money for their business, as well as how they can also um, do simple bookkeeping for their business. So if we were to collaborate with such a person, you are rest assured that you have access to his own clients, and which is like a good way of you expanding. Okay, and so that's basically online marketing in a nutshell. Now let's take a look at traditional marketing. Traditional marketing is more like face-to-face marketing, if I must say. So it includes getting referrals from friends. So you can have friends that they don't need your services, they don't have businesses, but they will know people that have businesses. So you need to tell your friends about it in order to get referrals. Remember, closed mouths don't get fed. If you do not talk about this, then if you do not talk about this, then you are talk about your business, then it's not, you're not going to get clients. That's how I basically see it. Another thing you can do is you can go through your contact list. So there's this belief that a normal or an average human being has at least 200 contacts. So I can guarantee you that if you go through your contact list, you will see at least 5 or 10 people that own businesses, and you can pitch your services to them. Okay, then you can also attend events and seminars that host small business owners. Like for example, let's say this Niger Branch Chick NBC Trade Fair. So this is another, it's an event where small business owners come to sell. So you can go out and then go out to such events and then try and market your services. Tell them this is what I do at this rate. Let's work together. So that's another way for you to market your business. Now, I hope you guys are following through. Let's do a recap of what we've done. We've had an introduction to virtual bookkeeping. We've seen the need for virtual bookkeeping, the necessary steps you can take. We've taken a look at the required software and hardware. We've also looked at the services you can offer, and then how to market your business. That's like so much grammar and information. Let's try and look at the financial aspect. You're starting a business. Let's look at the numbers, okay? Let's take a look at the numbers for it. Sorry. Okay, so let's take a look at your initial setup cost. You're about to start this business. What are your financial requirements? There's CAC registration. So these are rough estimates. Before I jump into it, these are rough estimates of what you need to spend to start your business. There's CAC registration. I'm estimating about 15,000 if you are getting it done yourself. But if you're hiring someone, you might need to pay more. Then there's website. So this website, a standard website, costs as high as 200,000. But I'm using like a baseline website. You're just starting out for the first time. You might not necessarily need to go big, okay? You might just need to start off little. So having a baseline website is fine. That's 50,000. A good laptop is 100,000. A nice phone, a good phone is 80,000. A generator, please, this is the cost of, what do you guys call it? I better pass my neighbor. So a generator costs 25,000. Internet them 25,000. Furniture and fittings, that's for like plastic table and chair. That costs about 10,000. Then accounting software, I'm using Sage for example. So Sage for a whole year is about 79 to 80,000. So I just kept 80,000 there. Then there's initial marketing costs for you to run ads on social media and maybe if possibly use an influencer. I'm estimating 50,000 for that. Then there's training and certification. So when I mentioned become certified in bookkeeping, I think I talked about Institute of Certified Bookkeepers. So in that Institute of Certified Bookkeepers, for you to get trained and certified, it costs roughly about 45,000. So in total, you're spending 480,000 for you to set up your own business. But let's look at it. Some of you already probably have phones, some of you probably have a laptop, some of you even have Gen in your house as well as a nice table and chair. So it would definitely be lower than that. You just need to take a look at it and see what you don't have and you can afford to do or work with now. Now, I also decided to show you guys a pricing assumption, a pricing and revenue assumption for your business. So I'll start by explaining what I call micro, small, medium, and large. So a micro business to me is a business with less than 200 transactions. When I mean less transactions, I mean sales, purchases, bank transactions, all of that in a whole month is less than 200. And then a small business is one with 200 to 1,000 transactions. And then a medium business is 1,001 transaction to 2,500 transactions. And a large business is from 2,500 transactions upwards. Okay, so I'm telling you now that from what I have done, from the research that I've done, if you charge a micro business 30,000 naira for monthly bookkeeping fees, it's understandable. These are competitive prices in the market. These are prices that you charge your clients that allows you to remain competitive and allows you to still generate a profit. So you charge a micro business 30,000 for bookkeeping for a month, a small business 50,000, a medium business 100,000, and then a large business is negotiable. So now imagine if you were to have, let's say, three small business clients that pay you 50,000 per month. That's 150,000. That's some cool cash you're looking at right now. So I try to do like an assumption for you, a revenue assumption for you. So I'm estimating that at the end of 3 months, once you've successfully launched your business, you've gotten one client. But I believe in you guys to get more than that, honestly. I believe you can get more than one client, but I'm just using worst case scenario, you have just one client. Then at the end of 6 months, you have just two clients. At the end of 12 months, a whole year, you have 4 clients. So if all of them are micro businesses, it means at the end of month one, since you have just one client, you're earning just 30,000. At the end of 6 months, you are earning 60,000. At the end of 12 months, it's 120,000. This is just an estimated revenue per month. Now let's look at it in more details, okay? So looking at this, month one, you don't have any clients. Month two, no clients. Month three, you get your first client, which is a micro business. So for that month, you earn 30,000. Month four, you still have that client. The assumption I'm going with is that you're not providing a one-off service. No, bookkeeping is something that should be done every month. So if you offer your services at if you get a client in month three, that client still stays with you till month four. Okay, so that same client pays you 30,000. Month five, the same client pays you 30,000. Then by month six, you get another client. That makes it what, 60,000 cool cash for that month. By month seven, it's still 60,000 because you have two clients. Month eight is still 60,000. By month nine, you've gotten another client. Now you're earning 90,000, and so it goes on. Then let's look at the expenses you might be facing on a monthly basis. There's the internet data connection. I'm estimating roughly 5,000 per month for your data. Fuel, 4,000 naira. Telephone expenses for you to make calls to clients, for you to follow up with maybe your team, for you to do research, 2,000. Other expenses, maybe fuel increase, you need to do more work. So miscellaneous expenses, you take out of this 6,000. So if you're looking at it, you are incurring an average of, let's say, 27,000 monthly in on expenses. But by the time you do your plus and minus, you will see that along the month you are starting out for the first time, so you cannot quickly make a huge cash. But as time goes on, your profit increases to the extent that you get up to 336,000 that month for profit. So it's all about you. And this is just being objective by saying you have one client, two clients. You can get more than that. There's nothing stopping you from having way more clients than this. Okay. So that brings me to the very end of my presentation. I'm sure you guys have so many questions and I'm ready to jump into it and ask and answer it all. So let's get to it. Thank you so much for having me. Over to you. Let me stop this.
Hello, everyone. That was an interesting one. It was quite.
Hello, thank you. That was a nice one. I think we have a question here. The question is from Rita.
Okay.
From Rita on OKG. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
And the question is, how and where can I register for the Institute of Bookkeeper?
Okay, so it's Institute of Certified Bookkeepers. It's a platform, it's a website. Just Google Institute of Certified Bookkeepers, and then on the site you see where you can register for training, and then you can also get certified. Obviously, you need to answer questions, go through an examination. So just jot it down, Institute of Certified Bookkeepers. Google it on Instagram. It's a website. You can take it up from there. Thank you.
All right. We have another question here from Mayowa Bankole. He's asking, how do I determine the rate or prices per services I offer to clients? So he wants to know.
So like for what I did, for the estimate I showed you at the end, for a micro business, 30,000, a small business, 50,000. So that's what I've done my research, and I've realized most businesses charge, and then it allows you to remain competitive because you don't want to start out and then start pricing your charge so high. It won't be advisable, and at the same time you don't want to price your charges quite low also. That won't help you. So charging as high as 30,000 for your services is actually quite okay. But then another thing you need to look at when doing that is look at your costs. You need to look at your costs. So how much are you incurring? So let's say, for example, you are doing bookkeeping transactions, you are doing general bookkeeping. You obviously need to pay for Sage software. That's, I'm assuming you're using Sage, and Sage per month for a whole year is 80,000. So now it's saying for a month, Sage for a month, if you prorate it, is roughly, is it 6,500 or 7,000? Roughly 7,000 per month. So you think about it, you're using this software, you're going to be spending 7,000. Your internet for a month is as high as, let's say, 5,000. That's already 12,000. Other necessary things you will need to do to provide services for the client, and then you now add how much profit you want to generate. So you're already spending 7,000 on monthly subscription for Sage and accounting software. You're spending 5,000 for internet. You're spending, let's say, 2,000 for fueling for you to run your gen. So that's roughly about 14,000. So your estimate of 15,000. So you're estimating that you're going to make an addition of 15,000 naira profit. So you try and know your costs basically. What are your costs and how much profit, what percentage of profit you want to gain, you want to generate. So that's just it. You can also, it's also advisable for you to do your research. So you can ask, or you can inquire from certain or several bookkeeping firm, how much they charge, so that you can also know how much you can charge as well. Thank you.
Thank you for that. We will not be able to take all your questions live right here now, but we're definitely going to get back to you via emails with the response. We are going to take 3 more questions and then we will move to the next session. I have another question here. It is from Adebola Adekeye. Sorry if I did not pronounce it very well. He said she is asking, is it advisable for an accounting bookkeeper to have clients in different sectors of the economy or specialize in one? Do you
Okay,
have
so
clients in multiple sectors or you just concentrate in one sector of the economy?
okay, so the first thing I'll ask you is, how good are you, or how well do you have experience in the different sectors? Because you don't want to, like I said, overplay your hands. Okay, so do you have experience in, let's say, the construction sector for you to provide efficient bookkeeping service? If you are good in, let's say, hospitality, you can start out in just that. You can start out with just hospitality sector, and then over time you build, because I'm expecting or thinking that you are starting your bookkeeping business just yourself. So over time you will definitely hire more hands, and those people you hired may have expertise in different sectors. Then you can open your business out. But if you're starting out and you know you're good in just one sector, you can start out with that, and over time, highest in 3 months, in 6 months, you can for more open up for providing bookkeeping service in more sectors. Okay, so just start out small, don't overplay your hands. That's what I would say. But then it's also
Okay.
good for you to specialize in just one sector, like I said, because if you specialize, let's say, in the construction industry, over time you become, or let's say the food industry, you provide bookkeeping services for just the food industry, you end up becoming the go-to person that they will meet for all their bookkeeping needs. So it's up to you to determine what type of clients do you want to have. Okay. Well, I always
Okay, thank you
advise you
very
to
much.
start small. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Turning this question to Lisa. Uh, Someone is asking, Omotayo, she's asking, what trainings would you advise to undergo to gain experience in bookkeeping? What training would you advise somebody that wants to gain experience in bookkeeping to undergo?
Okay, hello, Omotayo. That's actually a very beautiful question, because there are certain skills and, of course, knowledge that you need to start up a virtual bookkeeping business. So as the presenter already noted, you need to have the bookkeeping knowledge itself. That is, you need to know how to perform bookkeeping responsibilities like posting of transactions, handling payroll, and the rest. But that's not the only training that you would need. You would also need to train yourself skills-wise. You need to have, good time management skills. You need to have interpersonal skills, good communication skills as well, because when you put all those things together, they are what is actually needed for you to serve your clients, best. So I would say, first, look at the technical part, which is knowing the bookkeeping, and then look at your skills area, your personal skills that would help you perform very well. And then if you want to go further, you can learn a lot about technology and the rest, because now we're talking about virtual bookkeeping. So you will need to know the latest software in town, the latest technology to use, and all of that. So it's very, very important. There are different ways you can learn about these things. If you go online, you can use platforms like Coursera, you can use platforms like EDX, futurelearn.org, and the rest. There are a lot of them. So just try to see how you can train yourself on that. Thank you.
Okay, the last question we'll be taking now is from Bisola Adeyemi. She's asking, I'm directing this question to Mr. Martin. Mr. Martin, I hope you can hear me. She's asking, is bookkeeping the same as doing annual report for small businesses? And also another question from her, analyze what this bookkeeping entails. So Mr. Martins, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Busola. Bookkeeping is not the same as annual report, because bookkeeping takes care of everything you do relating to recording the business transactions on daily basis. Annual report is just once in a year. So when you make up your reports, which you even submit to CSC, which helps you to know how business has done in a year. Annual report makes you to see some specific kinds of report. But good bookkeeping is on transaction basis. It takes it transaction by transaction. You need to know what to debit. We call it debit. You need to know what to credit. You need to know how to debit when you are spending money, how to record transactions when you are spending money, and how to record transactions when you are making money. This is just exactly what that means. And coming down to how to analyze what this bookkeeping entails, it's just what you have been hearing. Breaking it down a bit, bookkeeping, you went to buy stock, you know, things that you sell or things that you use to produce what you sell, you record it somewhere. You paid rent, you record it somewhere. You pay salary, you record it somewhere. In the end, maybe at the end of the day or at the end of the month, it is these things that you record on a daily basis that will tell you whether you are making, whether you have performed well in a month, in a quarter, half year, or even at the end when you are talking about the annual report that you just mentioned at the first question. So this is just a little bit of insight into what bookkeeping is. Thank you so much. I hope this answers your question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Martin. Unfortunately, this is all we can take in the Q&A live, but we'll continue answering your questions. We'll continue to answer your questions. We'll send them via email. Please keep your questions coming. We appreciate your questions. We'll move forward now to the next item on our agenda. That is, we're going to take you through the amazing opportunities that we have for you, presented by Luisa. Luisa, over to you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. John. I'll be sharing my screen now. Hello, everyone. This is actually an amazing opportunity that I'm trying to bring to you today. Our presentation today was quite interesting for me. I enjoyed it so much. Thank you for attending this webinar. I would say that I hope you had a thing or two to learn. Also, a very big thank you, not forgetting Ms. Vivian Atwei for taking the time, to share this beautiful presentation. Remember that if you have further questions, you can reach us via email with info@collectiveconsulting.ng. That's info@collectiveconsulting.ng. So now that you're interested in starting and making money running a virtual bookkeeping business, I would like to introduce you to an amazing opportunity that we are offering, okay? So, do you want the opportunity to work for yourself but utilize the platform of our company? Then I want you to become a part of our franchise model, all right? So let me tell you what you stand to gain from this franchise model. First, you can start and run a virtual bookkeeping business without hassle. That means all of the things that Ms. Vivian has noted in her presentation that you have to do, necessary steps to take and all of that. You don't need to bother about that. You don't need to think about that. You don't have to go through the rigors of, business registration and the headaches that are associated with starting up as well. You don't need to think about tax issues, no legal action to be taken. All you need is you, your laptop, and your internet connection. So that's actually quite amazing, okay? We have partnerships with a host of accounting software companies. So that's also going to save you the stress of trying to qualify for these partnerships. You would also be associated with a reputable company. So that's something you're going to gain as well. Collective Consulting is a well-registered company with proper license to operate. And also our company culture is very people-oriented, all right? We have, our procedures. Our procedures and our processes are well established. I hope you all can hear me, as sometimes the network can really mess up. Another thing you stand to gain is the fact that you will be able to build your clientele with adequate support from us, and you will also be able to make money, you know, from this franchise opportunity. There is, but you can say basically that there is no risk, you know, for trying and, you know, failing. You don't have to be scared that you're going to, you know, start a new business and then fail. It's not possible, because now you're in partnership, you're going to be in partnership with us. So there's a lot of, you know, mitigation of those risks that will be going on. All right. So you rest assured, this is our commitment to you, that we would offer maximum support as you journey through, you know, this process. All right. So despite all that you have to gain, I still want to go ahead and tell you what we as Collective Consulting is going to offer to you, you know, for this opportunity. All right, so as you can see, we can offer you training and certification. This is actually valued at 100,000. There are even a lot more expensive platforms for proper training like this, you know, to kickstart you for the virtual bookkeeping business that you're about to start. But we are actually going to be giving you at 30,000 naira. Okay, you have a lot to gain through this process, you know, this training process, because the training is, the fee is going to cover training on Sage accounting software. It will also cover training on Calendly time management software, which Ms. Vivian mentioned. It will cover training on time duty project management software, and it will also cover training on Microsoft Excel. Isn't that exciting? All right, so basically there is no subscription fee. You don't have to pay any registration fee, you know, other than your training fee, okay? We're also going to offer you business growth opportunities. You will have access to relevant mentoring from our network of professionals. You know, I told you in the beginning, we're a pool of professionals working together, okay? You would also get a work email as well. So if you choose to take up on our franchise opportunity, you get a work email. That's going to position you very well as a professional, okay? So now that you've learned about this awesome opportunity, let me just go right in and just tell you the steps that you need to take, all right? So first, of course, you need to indicate your interest. So I don't know if you've seen a poll on your screen asking you if you are interested in the franchise opportunity. I think you did, and some of you have voted. So indicate your interest, and that would definitely be the first step, you know, to take. Afterwards, you will need to register. Our email address is info@collectiveconsulting.ng. So we're going to send you an email with a simple form that you would fill to register for this partnership, okay? Once that is done, after proper planning and everything, an induction will be set up for you. And this induction would last for a month for a maximum of 30 hours. And it will be delivered with live session webinars, okay? This induction process is probably where, not probably, it is actually where, you know, you would learn more about our company, you will learn about our mission, our vision, our strategy. You would also learn about our processes and our company culture, as well as what it takes, you know, to be a part of our network. And then after that, you know, the training session will begin. Remember I told you there will be a training on Sage, Calendly, Time Duty, Excel, and the rest, okay? So that training is going to begin, and more of that training opportunity will be communicated to you, you know, once the process is set to begin, okay? Lastly, we would formalize our business relationship, basically, because now we are partners, okay? So once you've gone through all the steps, we'll draft a simple agreement for you to sign. You become a franchisee, and we become the franchisor, and we have a business relationship, okay? So congratulations. I can say that you are now a virtual bookkeeping franchisee with Collective Consulting. Just to round up, let's take a look at our franchise model. So basically this means that all you'll be getting, not all you'll be getting more, but what you'll be getting that you would pay for is training and business continuity. So I already mentioned that your training is going to be just for 30,000 naira one-time fee, okay? But for the business continuity and to, keep up your own part of the deal, the obligation on your part is to pay a 20% royalty to Collective Consulting for every job that is delivered. So for example, if you serviced 3 micro businesses, remember there are stages, there is micro businesses, small businesses, and medium. So assuming you service 3 micro business clients in a month and got paid 30,000 for each, what is due to Collective Consulting is 20% of the total, which is 90,000. So you give us 18,000 and the rest 72,000 naira is your money, okay? So that's just for clarity. Remember, you can send more information or questions, concerns, and the rest to info@collectiveconsulting.ng, okay? Don't forget, info@collectiveconsulting.ng. So thank you very, very much, everyone, for being a part of this webinar. We look forward to partnering with you. And please note that a copy of this webinar and presentation slides will be shared with you. All right, do have a lovely day. Bye.
Okay, thank you very much, Lisa. Before I close, I would just give room for 2 questions. Somebody asked earlier and I skipped the person. I want to give the person an opportunity for his questions to be answered here. I will be sending this question over to Mr. Martins. It's from Mayowa. This is the second question from Mayowa, saying, would you advise I have sought some services I'm not competent enough to handle professionally? Okay, let me rephrase. Said there are some questions is not some assignment you may not be competent to handle professionally enough. So he's thinking maybe he can outsource it to another colleague that is more competent in that area. Do you advise that?
Okay, yeah, the truth is, what else do I advise? It is not advisable to dabble into what you cannot do. You get a relationship very terrible because you won't come out of it unscathed. You destroy a business relationship. But just like we have presented, even collective consulting, when you give some services to some other person who is better placed to do that service, you gain some commission, you gain some referral commissions, which is safer for you. And so many people gain this commission are living on commission. They are great marketers. They just land some opportunities and they eat the commission and go their way. So you don't all totally lose out. If you refer us to such opportunity as collective consulting, you surely will get some referral commission. If you refer any other person that you are referring to should be able to, appreciate you. So with us, we appreciate you so much. So there is nothing you lose on that. And remember, the person that you have referred will always be grateful to you for the service he has received. So that's what I want to say on that one. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very
Sorry,
much.
please, John, do you mind if I say something on that as well?
Okay, quickly, please.
Okay, so considering you outsourcing some part of it, let's take, for example, you've been hired by a company to file their taxes as well as payroll management. But let's say, for example, the VAT tax, you're not too proficient or you don't know how exactly to do that. So you decide to outsource. One thing you need to look at when outsourcing to someone, because obviously you'll be handling the payroll part and you want to outsource that part. You need to look at the cost. It's good to outsource. You need to look at the cost of outsourcing. So let's say your client is paying you a total of 50,000 for payroll management and for filing of taxes, and then you decide to outsource it to me, and I'm charging you, let's say, 30,000. You need to decide, or 25,000. You need to decide, is it still profitable for you to keep on taking that client if you're going to continue to outsource it to me? So these are certain things you need to take a look at. And then, like I keep saying, do not overplay your hands. So if you meet a client and the client says you should do this, and you know you're not too proficient, weigh your options. If the pay is good and you know by outsourcing to a client you still make a certain amount of profit, that's fine. If not, just leave it. I'll possibly refer another person or another bookkeeping firm, like Mr. Martin said. And also said, in collective consulting, you earn a referral fee for every client. So you're still making cool cash and you don't end up spoiling relationships, because business relationships is very important for you to keep good business relationships. So that's all on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just two more before we close. There's a question here from Adebola. So what is the best accounting software to use when starting a bookkeeping business? Lisa, can you answer that? The best accounting software to use when starting a bookkeeping business.
Okay, hello. I can't remember who asked that question, but if you can hear me.
Adebola.
Okay, Adebola. Several accounting softwares, especially the ones that I mentioned in the presentation, are very, very good for you to use. The thing is, majority of the softwares complement each other in a sense. As an experienced accountant that have been using most of these softwares, we can see maybe one or two differences between this accounting software or this accounting software. But for a start, as a virtual bookkeeping, practitioner or whatever, for a start, Sage is a good accounting software. I can also tell you that QuickBooks is a very good accounting software. Xero is a very good accounting software as well. These three accounting softwares are easy to use. They are not difficult. By the time you run through them, understand the ropes, go through all the navigation and the rest, it's going to be very easy for you to implement, the use of these softwares. But like it was said in the presentation, do not limit yourself to one. So by the time you have learned one, try to learn more, so that when you have clients that give certain scope of work and there are lapses or limitations in another software, you can switch over to a new software and still do your job with effectiveness and efficiency. Thank you.
Okay, the last one now to Vivian. What are the various taxes a virtual bookkeeper is expected to pay? The question is, as a practitioner, what are the taxes you are supposed to pay? Not in terms of your relationship with your client, the taxes your client is supposed to pay. You as a virtual bookkeeper, maybe it's trying to understand any additional costs apart from the ones you have mentioned.
Okay, so a virtual bookkeeper to me is you are still operating a business. A virtual bookkeeping business is just like every other bookkeeping business, or virtually every other business in Nigeria. So your usual taxes should be paid. Like if you have employees under you, you definitely need to pay payee. If you have to pay company tax. That's if you fall within a certain income bracket. That's when you're allowed to start paying company tax. Then there's the VAT tax, because you're providing services to clients. So it's advisable for you to charge VAT on each invoice you present to clients. So I think that so far covers it all, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, members of the panelists. Thank you, our attendees. We really appreciate your time. We'll be closing it here. Please, these are the channels through which you can contact us. If you need further information on anything, you can contact us through these channels, and we'll be sure to get back to you. Also, be expecting a mail from us where we answer all the questions that have been asked. Those that have been answered and those that haven't been answered, we are going to send all the answers across to you. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.